welcome to Nukkad Stories, the show where we take you through the journeys of the tales of unsung heroes. We have with us Mr. Shailesh Agarwal today. If I had to give you one corollary that would relate to his journey, it would be that of Slumdog Millionaire. Come with me and join us in this journey. Hello, Mr. Shailesh.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to have you here today.
My pleasure as well.
Thank you, sir. So the first thing I think I would like to talk to you would be about your childhood. So can you take us through your childhood journey?
It has been an interesting journey. I have born and brought up in a middle class business family in a small town of Rajasthan, which is Bharatpur, very popular for bird sanctuary. We were having a joint family business of grocery. Used to stay in a common house where each family is allocated one room. So we had 10 by 12 room where all five of us, I had 5 siblings, used to stay. That is a multi-purpose hall, sometime being used as a bedroom, sometime as a kitchen, sometime as a bathroom in the winter season. I used to, study in that room. We used to sleep, we can't study after 8 o'clock because everybody has to go to the sleep. And when we were doing the study, our relatives or other family members used to start the transistor or radio or have played the loud music. So we were used to study in that kind of loud music kind of thing. When I was in 6th standard, my father separated from the family business, and I had to support my father in earning the bread and butter for the family. Because my elder brother was doing engineering, I was the only one to support him. During that time, it was a tough time for us. I have not, typical like any other child, I have not spent time in playing or going with friends and so on. Most of my time I either used to spend in study or helping my father in doing the business. Grocery business was not giving us big money, so we started a business of scrap, the kabadi wala business. We used to buy paper scrap from the people, and I have helped my father to set up that business. During that time, it was a very hardship, of being a child. Used to carry the bags of scrap from one place to another place. Used to get inside the truck when the truck is getting loaded and so on. Used to do the packing of the corrugated box using the coconut ropes and so on. But that was a tough time. We have somehow passed that tough time. Coming to my study, always in the government schools, where my monthly fees was 1 rupee per month kind of thing. We paid around 12 rupees for the entire year. I was good in study. When in the 6th standard, we learned ABCD, like the English started in 6th standard. And I remember A to Z only when I was doing my typing, and there was a lesson where you need to type A to Z without looking at the keyboard. That was the time when I remember, ABCD to Z. When I done my 8th standard, my teacher wanted me to be engineer. I wanted to be a doctor. My father wanted me to be a chartered accountant because somebody told me for one signature you get 10,000 bucks. Finally, I chosen commerce line. Completed my 9th, 10th. 10th I got not all India, in Rajasthan I got a 39th rank. And my elder sister that time, she was helping me a lot, told me if you get a rank or a merit, then I will gift you a cert. Okay. And that was a motivation for me. In 11th I got 9th rank in the merit in the Rajasthan board. Then got into the college. After getting a rank, got a lot of gift in always on a national scholarship, done the study with the old books and so on. Could not go to Jaipur because of the financial problem, the family is facing. Done my college education from my hometown, done my BCom. When I qualified BCom, I was just 17 years old. Could not get the admission in the chartered accountancy because minimum age was 18 years. Waited for 1 year. By then, a lot of my friends have already, completed one group of chartered accountancy. Then I have appeared for both the groups, cleared in the first attempt, got All India 15th rank in CA Inter. After getting that, my boss told me, why don't you try for, I want you to come in the first top 5 All India. At that point of time, I was surprised. I said, clearing a CA exam itself is a difficult thing, and getting a rank may not be possible. Given the final exam, again both group cleared in the first attempt, got All India 3 rank. That was a very memorable moment for me. Till BCom, I used to spend a lot of time with my parents, my family, in the family business. Only after the BCom, when I done my CA, that was the time when I was completely focusing on my study. After completion of CA, because of the rank, I got a lot of interview calls, went to Delhi multiple times, but many interviews I could not get success because my communication was not that great, being from a rural background, being from a small town. But I never gave up. After each interview, I used to do the introspection saying what went wrong, how can I do better in the next interview. Finally, I started my career with Grasim. I was just 21 years old when I started earning. Was there for 6 months. My performance was very good there. After that, I moved to Delhi in Industrial Finance Corporation, where I was part of the foreign exchange. Then 98, I joined Infosys. Being a finance guy, I joined Infosys not in finance, but in the software line. We were 4 chartered accountants in a batch of 182 engineers. Undergone 3.5 months full-time training on the software, learn the coding, learn how to develop the software and so on. After completion of the training, I was part of the information systems division, and then joined the finance team back as a head of corporate accounts and tax. Worked with Infosys top management, with the CFOs and so on. 2014, there was an itch always to do something at my own. I said, why don't I leave Infi and start my own company? That's how I started the Clonec Solution, which bring technology and finance together. So that has been a short journey for me.
Sir, you make it sound so effortless, but we want to know more about when you say you were working with your father and you were helping in family business. So what were the difficulties that you were facing on a day-to-day basis?
See, it's all about. We had a shop of around 6 by 10, and I remember when we separated out from the family business. The first day, our sale was 100 rupees. That's all, and we didn't have the money to get the raw material or get the grocery or stock it. Right, that point of time, we said, how to survive as a family, right? Then we started a scrap business. My father used to buy old scrap. We used to take the scrap from the schools. And then we said, again, how we can make this business more profitable, because you need money to survive. Then what we have done is, we used to, like in examination copies, you have some pages which are blank. We used to tear those pages. We started making a rough book. And it has given us some money. Then we said, why don't we recycle the old books? We started that business. And my mom used to prepare the envelope, the paper envelopes. So everybody in the family was doing something. My father was working on the shop, I was helping him, my mom is also working on that. So those were the tough times, where a small thing matter for us. For example, like during the summer vacation, rather than wasting time, we used to have some kind of business setup where we used to rent it out, the old novels, old books, and used to earn, let's say, 2,000 bucks or 3,000 bucks. In the winter vacation, or seasons like Deepavali or Raksha Bandhan, we used to put a stall of Rakis as well as the crackers. We used to earn money, and that money, is being used by the family in different ways. I remember when I got my first television, all 5 of us uh, took the money from whatever savings we had, we went to the market and got the television. That's a black and white television long back. The initial stage, uh, not being so rich, business not doing so good, we realized the importance of the value. And when we saw our parents struggling, that point of time we said, why don't we help them? Why don't we become, some kind of independence or help them in some other way? Similarly, we never used to spend money on going to movies or traveling just like that. Save as much as possible. I used to get scholarships, I used to borrow books for my study and so on. That's the way we have done. And schedule was, morning you get up 6 o'clock, go to school 7, come back at 12 o'clock, then go to the shop, send fathers for the lunch, then go to a friend's place for the study because there was no place at home. Again, after the study, come back, go to the shop, help the father, then come back home, do some 1 hour study and then sleep. So that was the journey. There was no time for any sports, any play, any fun activities and so on. And that's how we manage our childhood.
So, as a child, when you were going through that struggle, did you have any like aspirations, any goals? Ki, okay, if I reach that much, that means I have arrived.
No, one of the things was, when I saw my parents struggling, something came to my mind is, if I don't do the study, then I will be selling the grocery and I will be struggling like that. Because in my family, the entire family, my cousins, after studying 10th and 12th, they used to leave the study and got involved into the family business. I said, no, I will not do it. Probably I will get into a job or I will get a professional qualifications. And that was the motivation for me to do, put more efforts in terms of study and so on. And I think I have achieved that way. So that was the aspirations in terms of being a professional.
And how would you describe the experience of living in joint family? Because everybody has different tastes, different kind of ideas about life. So, were there any comments, any feedback that you got that kind of motivated you or hurt you?
No, I think it's really amazing to be as part of the joint family because you never realize how fast you've grown up. We used to go for playing together, used to fight with each other. There were a lot of learning. If somebody is not helping you or you have some other person who is helping you out. If your parents are busy, you can go to your uncles and so on. So it has been a really, great things. And these days we miss all that. But at the same time, there has always been other side of the story where there are people who used to pull your leg. They don't want you to prosper in life. All those things also used to happen, but overall it has been amazing experience being in a part of the joint family.
Okay, great. I remember speaking to you one day and you mentioned something about formulas. Would you like to share that with our audience?
So it happened when I was part of Grasim. That was my first job, and one of my colleague who was managing the finances over there came to me and he said, Shailesh, you just qualified and you might know the formula for IRR, which is the internal rate of return. There was a subject in our CA final examination called operational research, and that formula was there in that. But I said, I don't remember the formula, but let me try. Then I took a piece of paper and pen, and I have written some series like, 1 plus x, x plus 1, x plus 2x, and so on, and derived the formula and told him. And this guy was amazed. I said, how can you, create a formula on the fly? Then I just made a very casual comment saying, one need not to remember the formula, it has to be created, right? You should know the basic concept. And that guy, when I was leaving Grasim, during my farewell party, he made that comment. He said, this is the statement which I cannot forget in my life. So that was just one incident, yeah.
What was the statement?
He
Exactly.
said, his statement was, one need not to remember the formula, it has to be created.
So you were sitting with a few friends the other day and you mentioned something like signals. कुछ college के दिनों की कुछ बात है. Can you please share that with us?
Very
What were those
interesting.
signals?
See, when you are good in study, many girls get attracted to you, and They used to give some signals, right? You understand what the signal means. But our antenna was not so strong to catch those signals that point of time because we were so busy in our career.
Like they used to look at you and
Look at you, smile at you, would like to, meet you sometime, drop some paper near to you, all those kind of things.
so your journey in Infosys, it was a pretty long one. I mean, 16 years in one company. So what were the takeaways and finally, how did you decide to leave?
Infosys journey, if you really, if I tell you, is just a coincidence. We never wanted to come to Bangalore from Delhi. Infosys was looking for a first batch of chartered accountant in the software line. We just appeared for one written examination, cleared it. Initially, I rejected Infosys offer because the pay was not that one. After that, they increased the pay. Joined Infosys, 4 chartered accountant in a batch of 183 people. Undergone 3.5 months full-time training program on the software, understood how to do the coding, how to develop the software and so on, part of SAP implementation, part of various software implementation. Managing a large team of engineers, around 125 software professionals in their IT division for 6-7 years. Then moved to finance because I was managing the finance finance applications of Infosys. And the CFO one day told me, why don't you join us? And that's how I moved from IT to finance as head of corporate accounts and tax. 7 years I have spent over there, but there was always itch to do something. When I joined CA, as compared to MBA, always I wanted to do something at my own because CA can do a practice. That itch was there, but I got a rank, and because of the rank I got a lot of job offers, so I said let me take a job. But that itch became prominent in 2013 and 14, and that's how I said let me take a plunge now, because if I don't pursue my dream, then it will not happen in my life. I left Infi, started my own company, and the idea was to bring technology and finance together. That's how we started.
So how did GST Committee come about?
When I was part of Infosys, that point of time I got involved in various government initiatives like income tax automation, like return filing automation way back in 2005, 2004. We were the first company who distributed the Form 16 with a digital signature way back in 2006 to all of our employees. Reduced so much paperwork. So when Infosys got the contract of the GST, I was out of Infosys at that point of time. They said, why don't you help us in designing the entire process. So I joined the core team. The core team consists of the GST and the government officials, Infosys team, the PwC team and so on. I have spent around 15 days full time in Infosys office discussing about the overall process, how exactly the return filing should work, what kind of control should be there and so on. And then as a company also we said we will develop the technology around GST. We developed the GST ASP application, GSP applications, and we help a lot of companies to migrate to the GST regime. That's how my association with the GST. Even now, we have been working on various GST initiatives as part of the Clonect, the company which I run. We help many companies like Tata Group companies and so on to do the reconciliation of their input tax credit using the AI technology and all.
So when we see your life journey, we see that you have gone from pillar to post and always climbing higher. What has been the idea of continuous improvement and how have you executed it?
See, I believe no one is perfect. Each one of us have some strength and some weaknesses, and we need to play on our strength and see how we can improve on our weakness. You can do that provided you take all the feedback in a positive way. I still remember the Kabir, one of the Doha of Kabir, saying, Nindak niyare rakhiye, agan kuti chavaye, bin pani sabun mina, nirmal kare subai. So you should have some critics near to you so that who can always show you the mirror, and without soap and water you can improve yourself, and I believe in that theory even today.
Sir, ये तो हो गई बहुत serious बातें. Would you like to share some fun moments with us?
See, life mein, there are few things which you always remember, and I still remember one of the incident when I was class 8th and our mathematics class was going on. There was a surprise inspection by the education department, and the inspector came to the class and asked a question. That question was, दो मुर्गी 2 दिन में 2 अंडे देती हैं, तो 6 मुर्गी 6 दिन में कितने अंडे देंगी? It was a very basic, simple mathematical question, but being a kid's mind, we start thinking how many murgis, how many murgas and so on, and nobody could answer that. And after the class got over, then the kind of firing we got it from the mathematics teacher, especially me, because I was one of the top students in the class. And then he explained the logic, and that question I still remember. And sometime, when we were having a get together with friends and the kids and all, I always ask that question, and I have modified that question and created one more question around it, which is, 2 मुर्गी 2 अंडे 2 दिन में देती हैं, तो 6 मुर्गी 6 अंडे कितने दिन में देंगी? So अभी this is the homework for you. These are some of the moment you still remember even after 35 years of your that specific moment.
In this journey of yours, which has been so successful so far, how much contribution would you like to give to your spouse? What is the role that she has played in your life?
See, I've been lucky. I have a spouse like Seema with me. She has helped me a lot in terms of, taking care of the family, taking care of my parents, so that I can focus on my job, my career, and so on. When I was leaving Infosys, at that point of time, there was a lot of, confidence was missing, and she said, if you want to do it, leave the Infosys, and I'm there. We will help you out. Similarly, when I got married, in the first year of my marriage, my mom came to Bangalore to stay with us, and she got detected the cancer. She got surgery done in 99. At that point of time, post-surgery, all the care in terms of radiotherapy, chemotherapy done by my wife, and even today she is very close to my parents. So even today, I need not to worry about what is there in the kitchen, what is not there, and she take care of everything, including my son.
So now we have a fun game that we'd like to play with you, and this is called Never Have I Ever. So I'm going to give you a card.
Okay?
It says I have or I haven't.
Okay.
Depending on the question, you get to take your pick. So the first question is, never have I ever cheated on a test. Okay. Ragged anyone.
When you say ragged anyone?
Like in college, you have ragging. Okay. This is a question related to the modern apps now. So I have a question. It's called Never Have I Ever Played Candy Crush. Crossed red light signal. Okay. Was it an emergency?
Just like that. In Bangalore, everybody does it, right? If I say I haven't, then I will be telling lie.
So never have I ever cried in a washroom. Never have I ever pretended to laugh at a joke that you didn't get. Fallen asleep in a cinema hall. Can you tell us the movie?
I don't remember now. Yes. In fact, after seeing the movie, I don't even remember what was there inside the movie once I come out of the hall.
You leave it there. Okay. Never have I ever fallen asleep in an office meeting. Reread an email after sending it. Lied in a job interview. Never have I ever daydreamed about being on a talk show and what you would talk about there.
That's a difficult one. Can you repeat once again?
So have you ever daydreamt that, okay, I'll be on a show once as a guest and I'll be talking and this is all that I will say there?
Difficult. I have thought about it, but what will I talk about it? I think that is something I can't describe. But yes.
Maybe as a book, or you have this idea of sharing your journey to some other medium?
No, of course, I want to write some books one day, definitely. Not just about me, about how to make a society better, livable society and so on. No, I think I also remember one day, when you talk about lie and all. When I was in 6th or 7th, one of my teacher on Guru Purnima, has asked for the donation from the kids, and nobody was coming front. And you know what donation he has asked? He said, "Let me disclose what I want." He said, "You give me a promise you will not tell the lie in your life." You know, and somebody came forward and done that donation, who was my colleague, but I never had. I said I should not give this donation to my teacher because there is a possibility where you have to lie in your life to save somebody and so on. So I have not done it, to be very honest, but that was one more incident when you talk about lie happened.
So, just to round it all up, your life has taken you through many milestones, from a village to Jaipur to Delhi and to Bangalore. We have multiple takeaways from your life. What are the takeaways that you would like to give to the budding young entrepreneurs of this day and age?
One of the key messages I would like to give is there's no shortcut to the hard work. Whatever passion ones have, they should follow that, go to the top, and money will follow you. Be a good citizen, have a good civic sense, respect your elders, help each other. In my life, a lot of people helped me, and that is what inspiration for me also to help other buddies. That's the way I look at it.
So, thank you so much for being with us here today. It was truly an honor to interview you.
Thanks, it's my pleasure as well. Thank you very much.
Mr. Shailesh's journey reminds me of this famous poem by Jagdish Gupta, Sach hum nahi, sach tum nahi, sach hai mahaz sangharsh hi. And this has been the reality of his life. Nothing but struggle has been the truth for him. And he has faced each and every struggle with a brave face and made it till here. So with that inspiring note, we would like to leave you all. We'll join you again for another episode of Nukkad Stories.